Hi, I'm Ashley Swartz, founder and CEO of Furious Minds. I'm here for Beat TV in Cologne and DMEXCO, and I am lucky enough to be with my new friend, Sorosh Tavakoli, CEO of Videoplaza, and they've released a new report and some very interesting numbers today that I would love for you to talk about.
Absolutely, yeah. So really exciting to look at the numbers on mobile and tablets. Uh, so yeah, today we're announcing our new numbers for August on mobile and tablets across our broadcast clients. And believe it or not, we're gone from 1.5%. So we've looked at our global broadcast clients, looked at the share of the ad volumes we do for them, how much of that is on different devices. And we've gone from 1.5% of the total ad volumes being on mobile and tablets in January to being roughly 10% for August. So that's a 7 times increase only in 8 months. And obviously, we've been expecting this, but not necessarily at this pace. They're all building new services. They're all kind of integrating into different devices, and obviously on the back of that now, the volumes are coming in.
Well, this is incredibly important, right? Because we were talking a few moments ago about inventory building and getting that momentum, and then monetization follows shortly thereafter. I mean, typically we can see inventory scale quickly. Inventory doesn't usually scale this fast, but to see monetization and actual ad sell-through increasing at these rates, do you think that your publisher partners are going to start to actually go more bullish on digital now that they really do see monetization as a real reality coming?
Absolutely, yeah, I think it's a fair point, right? So inventory grows over time, and publishers, they usually start with, setting up their strategy, buying in technology or building it, getting the content out there, starting to build the audience. And a lot of that has been done, and just now they're integrating and starting to monetize, and that just shows the amount of the amount of hidden potential in a way that's in there. So there's so much unmonetized content that's now actually being monetized, and that's why we can grow at this pace effectively. And just another important point to make is, it's one thing if you try to also, a lot of it comes back to how you actually sell your mobile and tablet inventory. And what we've found being successful is when you can integrate it into your existing advertising offering. So you would actually go out and sell your one video audience. So you would just include it in your web, into your game console, into your connected TV, whatever other devices you have, you include them in one advertising offering towards the agencies and advertisers, and that makes it so much easier to buy, to book, and to deliver. Yeah.
Right, and I mean that aggregation allows for the buying of audiences, right? So there's less waste, which is, I think, important for advertisers that are going bullish and share shifting from TV to video. So we're in Cologne, so I don't, sort of want to overlook that point. I would love for you to talk about the German market and some of the things that are unique specifically for you as far as the solutions and services you provide, and what do you need to, what is top of mind in in Germany in particular as far as a larger European picture and unique that is important to consider when advertisers are investing here and when publishers are actually trying to start to monetize their content?
Yeah, so the German market is extremely exciting. There's a free, Germany is very much of a free TV market, very different from the US, where there's a huge pay TV or cable subscription base. So this market has always been dominated by advertising being the main form of funding these businesses. And obviously we're seeing that as we're now moving towards digital. And there's a less hesitation as well of moving over, as you're not kind of stepping on the toes of the subscription business, which usually is very significant compared to the still relatively small digital revenues. So the German market is very different from that perspective. And second point to make about how Germany is different is they have a very special setup where they separate the media business from the advertising business. So you would have the broadcasters like RTL and ProSieben being separated from their sales houses that are actually representing them and selling their advertising inventory. RTL sales house called IP Deutschland, ProSieben is called 71 Media. And so it's a very interesting model, as you have these sales houses that are very focused on monetization. And doing that separately also allows them to go broader than their main company. So they actually end up representing other properties as well, end up being almost similar to an ad network or a sales house. So that's kind of very interesting how they can build reach and scale by adding other properties to it.
So tell me, what challenges does that create when you're separating the sales and then you're actually bringing in sales from third parties as well and aggregating them to sell against an audience instead of against content specifically? What's that dynamic between the publisher and the sales house, and what's that effect on the marketplace?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, you know, you create, I mean, this exists in every business, but it gets even more difficult here, which is the disconnect between the publishers who build, you know, who go and create the content, who goes and buys the content, who build out the services and offerings towards the consumers, and the advertising business. And they obviously need to communicate more. They need to have, you know, strategies need to be aligned, plans need to be aligned. So we're seeing sometimes the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. So there might be, you know, new devices. So they might build out their propositions on new devices, but then the advertising house isn't necessarily up to speed on, you know, there's not a clear strategy around how to monetize that, what to do from a technology perspective, and, you know, how to effectively turn that into a business once you actually have that audience. So there's clearly kind of challenges around communication.
And you specifically mentioned in Germany, the RTL, you know, IP Deutschland, that relationship. And are you seeing that the sales houses are market specific? And if they're sort of country specific, what does that mean from global advertisers that are the ones probably investing the most heavily in video and the ones also probably share shifting the most dollars to video? How do they buy when it comes to a sales house model?
Yeah, I mean, they like it a lot, right? Because it brings scale to them, it brings simplicity. It's a one-stop shop where they can buy both the very premium end of the spectrum, but also add some other properties that will give them the reach that they're seeking. So you have, I mean, there's different models. I mean, you have, for example, Goldbach Media, that's representing actually in Switzerland, for example, representing both RTL inventory and ProSieben inventory for that specific market. So there's, I mean, Europe is very complex. There's many different markets and different dynamics, and obviously being here, this is very much, DMEXCO is very much the event that circles around the DACH region, which is the German-speaking region, but it's gradually grown out to be more and more pan-European. So you'll see, you know, people like yourself and just, yeah, people from all over the world actually coming to Cologne and gathering around as we've actually seen some of the events in London, you know, decrease in, you know, lose traction. So it's very interesting how that's grown out, and this is really the place to be if you want to be in business in the DACH region.
Well, thank you for joining me here today. I wish you the best of luck with the show, and hopefully we'll have a drink tonight.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.